Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the August 20th, 2012 City Council meeting. Mr. Clerk, roll call, please.
Alderman Beadling.
Here.
Alderman Newsom.
Here.
Alderman Tenpas.
Present.
Alderman May.
Present.
Alderman Valco.
Here.
Alderman Rivera.
Present.
Alderman Cunningham.
Present.
Alderman Cunningham. Alderman Moiseo.
Present.
We have a quorum. Best wishes to Tom. He's dealing with an issue. He couldn't make it in this evening related to a minor foot injury, so hopefully everything is going to go his way and he'll be up and about real quick. So, Tom, hope you're feeling better soon. Could we please all rise for the moment of silence, followed by the pledge. Thank you. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Well, thanks for everybody for coming this evening. We will have an executive session following the Alderman's comments, and we will be going to executive session to discuss two issues, real estate and settlement of claims. I don't anticipate it'll take too long, but as we have done in the past, once we go into executive session, basically the meeting is over with. We just come back into session and adjourn, and that usually concludes the evening. So I will start with my comments. First off, we have a little bit of good news. I got a letter from the governor a few days ago letting us know that as part of the 2009 Illinois Jobs Now Capital Program, that includes a 5-year statewide allocation of $500 million, which is $100 million a year approximately for local roads. To date, they've distributed $200 million to cities and counties. We've just got notice that we can anticipate receiving a warrant from the Comptroller's Office by the end of October of this year for $399,362, which is always good to get. We need work on our roads, and we appreciate the state's support in getting that work done. Well, I want to thank all of the residents from the 6th and 7th wards and other areas of the city of Waukegan who attended the event held at Victory Park on Saturday. Special thanks go out to Dan Sivia and Steve Colber for helping to organize the event. Also in attendance were Aldermen Beadling, May, Moiseo, Rivera, and Cunningham. We appreciate their presence. Chief Greathouse, Lieutenant Florup, and Sergeant Kelly also attended and spoke with the concerned citizens present. Neighborhood security is a citywide issue, and we need the assistance of all our residents to help keep our community safe. We had a very productive discussion as to how every resident can be part of keeping our streets safe, and I believe this is going to lead to a closer and more effective relationship between our residents and our police force. The city cannot do this without the help of the Waukegan residents, who will need to act as our eyes and ears and alert system when people spot something unusual or threatening on their block. You have to let us know so we can respond and hopefully catch the people who are responsible for the recent uptick in criminal activity across the community. I hope more neighborhood watches our organizations are established, and that we all work together to help turn this situation around. It's just not going to happen if you rely totally on the body of government. We need everybody involved. So thanks to everybody that turned out, and thanks for all the good ideas. And let's hopefully keep this moving forward with more organizational efforts. And you know, if anybody wants to get together to talk with us about what they're trying to do in their neighborhood, give my office a call or call the police chief, and we certainly will meet with you to see what we can do to facilitate your efforts. This Saturday, we had another successful art walk event downtown. It was a great night with folks strolling and enjoying the beautiful summer evening, eating at our restaurants, listening to music at Benny Plaza and the Fuqua Garden, and enjoying the art displayed in the shops and galleries. We had a nice turnout for the Urban Edges Kiley Center art exhibit. I want to thank Dave Motley for all his hard work and for the staff at the Kiley Center for giving us this opportunity to work with the residents who really seem to thoroughly enjoy the opportunity to exhibit their art. The concert at the lakefront, sponsored by FIST, was very well attended, and I'm looking forward to working with them next year as partners in even more musical events. My thanks go out to Joe Schmidt and his crew for all the hard work they have put in to make these events so successful. In front of everyone here tonight at the dais, you will find a list of names and resumes for appointments coming up at the next City Council meeting. I hope everyone will get a chance to review the resumes over the next 2 weeks. I believe you will find we have a strong list of applicants who have contacted us after we announced that we were accepting resumes for open spots about 2 months ago. I really think we're putting some really good people in positions that are going to be of help to the city of Waukegan. I have chosen the first Volunteer of the Month award to be given out at our next City Council meeting. I have advised the recipient of this so she can be in attendance, but I don't want to spoil the surprise, so you will all learn who it is when I make the announcement on September 4th. At our last City Council meeting, we had a request for a special street naming for the local chapter of the Masons. I also received a request for another one for Sister Mary Lacey. She runs Mary Lacey's outreach facility. Now, following that meeting, the chairman of the Public Safety Committee asked to be given the chance to review the process due to a couple of concerns he had about proliferation and also confusion of street names when a resident might call in a request for safety services and the potential for delay of response if there was any confusion during the 911 call. I want to make it clear that we are not saying no to those earlier requests, just an opportunity to review the process and handle these 2 most recent requests. I would just ask for everyone's patience while we sort this out. It is something that, we'll have to take a look at the types of signs that we're putting up, how they're shaped. We just don't want anybody to be confused during a 911 call and end up giving the name of a street that one of our 911 dispatchers might not be familiar with. So we'll still continue the practice. It's just a matter of taking a look at it and seeing how we can shape it so that it is more public safety oriented. And this will go to the Public Safety Committee. But as I said, those 2 requests are going to be honored. It's just a matter of taking a little bit of time to get all the work done and get everything in place. So we're looking forward to helping and making sure that those signs are put up. Now we have before us audience time. The first to speak is a Miss Williams. I'm afraid I can't read the writing on the first name, but Miss Williams, if you would like to come up to the podium to speak. And we do have a time limit of 3 minutes. Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, council members, my name is Odessa Williams. I live at 513 Lincoln, Waukegan, Illinois. Have lived there for over 45 years. However, in the past 10 years, it has been very difficult living where I am because of the business that is located at 903 Belvedere, which the opening of that business is right in the front of my house. Now, the parking is the problem, and I understand that in order to get licensed for a business, you must have adequate parking. You must have a permit or something written in order to get licensed for this business. If that is so, it's not happening. And if it's not happening, I would like to know why. It's very difficult to get my street clean. Once I clean the sidewalk near my house, the clients from that business park on the street, and the residue from their cars and their eating is left on the street. It's very difficult for me to move from my driveway are into my driveway because cars are sometimes double parked on both sides of the street. I sometimes end up going down the alley to Power, the next street over, to find there that there are cars parked there from this business. And it's difficult to see on the left side of that. So my concern is, what do we do with this situation? It was not there 10 years ago. Also, I understand that in order to have this business, you must have parking facilities available prior. And how I know this, because when we had an additional to our church, we could not do an additional to the church before we had a parking lot in place. So why is this happening in the community where we live? And I feel that it should not be. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Ms. Williams, we have talked about this, and we did send code enforcement over to make sure that they had cleaned up the back of the building and tried to make it so it was more presentable. We actually have just recently become aware of the fact that they are moving their cars over to another location, which we need to put a stop to, because that's not something he should be doing. So let me talk to the chief, and we'll give you a call back tomorrow, and we'll talk. We'll see if we can stop out there and have another visit. We'll make sure that code enforcement stops out there and keeps an eye on it too. But
Mr. Mayor, would you please keep me in tune?
I will.
What's going on?
I will.
It's really getting worse.
I did go. I have actually been out there several times to take a look at it, and I have seen parking that I was not aware that he was doing. So we will have a conversation with him, and we will try to get this thing worked out for you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for your patience. Next is Maxine Walker.
I really didn't want to come tonight for this, but since that business has moved in, it's just been terrible over there. He just used the street for a parking lot. And now any empty house, he parks in it, because it's a house one door down from me, because I live about 5 doors down, and Miss Williams lives right in front of him. And he parks. He got from 4 to 5 cars or trucks, whatever, and some of those cars are nothing but junk cars. And I don't see how he can do that, you know, because they don't have no license plates or nothing on them. And his hours of business is not no 8:30 to 6, I think is what I saw it's supposed to be, 8:30 to 6. And Monday through Saturday. But he works all night long, moving cars back and forth, loud mufflers on it, wake you up. And let me see what else. And he speeds down through there too. And we have children there. And
Did you say he's speeding?
Yes.
This is the owner of the business?
Oh, yes. He has a race car. And even if it was not the race car, he has other cars. They come down there too fast, and we always have problems with other people coming through there. But he knows better, though, and it just don't make no sense that we have to go through this. And Mrs. Evelyn Ellis, 531, she couldn't come because she's in the hospital. And Mr. Henry Green, he would have came, but he can't come because he's sick, too. And there's other ones want to come, but me and Ms. Williams, we the one that do all the talking, I guess. But it benefits everybody because they all complain, but nobody else is saying anything. So I think that's about it. But anyway, we would see if somebody can do something because we done called police I don't know how many times. And I think when Chief Yancey was in, I think he said 300 sometimes it got a call, but I know it couldn't have been between me and Ms. Williams. Somebody else had to be calling too, but we just don't know about it. And we had the cars parked in the front, like the trucks. You can't see, it's a curve there. And one, Mr. Green almost had an accident, and it has been accidents there before. But he has them big old trucks parked there. Now, lately, it hasn't been no trucks there, but it will be, because he do good for a little while, and then he'll start back up again doing the same thing. So if you let Ms. Williams know, she'll let me know everything.
Okay.
So thank you all.
Thank you very much.
Your Honor,
I'm sorry.
Your Honor, this is just a suggestion. This has been an ongoing problem. I would like to see that this matter be put into a Judiciary Committee. I think it's to see exactly what the conditional use, and I'm not mistaken, that facility should have a conditional use permit on file with us. And let's look at, maybe Ann can take a look at the conditions of that, and let's put some real teeth into this. I have been, along with Chief and Code Enforcement and others, have really tried to manage this as best as we can. But I think now it's time that we look at the conditions that are set forth by that business and start maybe going after those licenses right now. Obviously, other things are not working. It's just not working. And if you take a look at the parking situation from Powell Avenue to South Victory, the 500 block of Lincoln, across the street, north of Belvedere, the gentleman is very good at what he does. Unfortunately, he just does not have the necessary parking that's in place. So I'm asking that we have our Corporation Counsel within the zoning department or building department take a look at whatever the conditions are from the conditional use of that particular business, on which I know are on file. Let's see, can we put some real teeth in when we start talking to him again? It's time to take the gloves off. And that's just, I don't know any better way to put it. These young ladies, and I say that respectively, have been there over 50, 60 some years. They should not endure this type of behavior from a business who they've tried to work with over the last 10 years. We've talked about this and talked about this, tried to work with it, just doesn't happen. So I'm expecting for Ann to take a look at those conditions, see what we can do to really make him understand that we mean business. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Alderman. We certainly will take a look at it, I promise you that. Next we have Chris Blanks. We had a name that was scratched out above that, which I cannot read.
There should be a name before that that is put in print.
We have Ms. Williams, Ms. Walker. I have Janine Murphy at the bottom.
Oh, but yeah.
Well, go ahead. That's okay. We can take you. That's fine. Just come up and give your name and address, please.
All right, my name is Janine Murphy, and I reside at 704 Martin Luther King Avenue. I had been employed at the Boys and Girls Club as a program assistant for the past 6 months, and recently I was let go due to insubordination. But I didn't feel like it was insubordination. I feel like I was put under scrutiny and ousted out simply because I wouldn't allow them to defame my character and belittle me as a human and do things that, wasn't necessarily right. Everything was okay until we started summer programming down here at Genesee. And then unit manager Ann Sikora, she started off right off the bat. She made rumors about me, which was, certainly untrue, but I feel like, it was defaming my character. I don't have a problem with anybody asking me anything. I'm going to be honest with you, but, I don't like for people to speculate. That was number one. Then number two, she looked me blatantly in the face and lied to me, so I'm like, okay, I try to let the situation go. And then unit manager Georgia Sechin, she would speak to me in a manner as like I was a little kid. I'm not a child. I'm 28 years old. I definitely believe you got to give respect to get it, but in the same token, if you don't earn it, you don't deserve it. I witnessed Ann Sikora calling the little kids rats and roaches. I saw her ball up a club T-shirt, throw it at a little girl. You want this? Threw it at her. And then I would actually, take up for the kids and speak up for them because you guys are sending your kids to the club. Some of the parents, they may need that babysitter, but at the same time, they're coming to the club for, more than just that. Knowledge, education, fun, wisdom. That's what I had to offer. I would never just let them degrade me or take my dignity away. So in return, I heard the unit manager Ann Sikora tell Georgia Sechin, well, those people talking about African Americans are scary. We have to get her out of here. Was talking about me. After I heard that, I went to unit manager Mike McCauley, which is African American. Every time something happened with an African American, they would send him to talk to us. So I sat him down and let him know what was going on. He said he would have a meeting with them. It never happened. A week later, I was let go due to insubordination. I have no choice but to be insubordinate if you're miscommunicating with me intentionally. And I went to Answer Corps and Georgia Session and let them know, well, there's a miscommunication here somewhere. It's a miscommunication and lack of communication. Nothing was done. So the day that they let me go a full day of work, 2 minutes I was supposed to get off, they sent Mike McCauley to come and get me to let me go. So I'm looking at this list of, insubordinate complaints. Only one of them was true. I do, attend to that, but the rest of them wasn't true. And then CEO Cecily Price, she wouldn't even give me the chance to explain, well, this is not even true. You're never really here at the club, so you don't know what's going on. And it wasn't even fair.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Murphy. Your 3 minutes are up. I appreciate your concern about that. The city doesn't have any authority over any of those organizations, but if it's something that, Chris, if you'd like to come in and talk to us about it at another time, we can talk. But obviously, public comment, go ahead. But if there's something else you want to talk about, let us know. Okay?
Brother Blank's Black Abolition Movement for the Mind, abolitionist, and also founder of National Action Network of Lake County. I know many of you would question why would we come here to the city council meeting regarding an issue with the Boys and Girls Club. I looked in the paper today and I seen a rally on the north side that said, it was a rally, what you mentioned, of taking back, the community. And I commend people who put forth an effort to take back their community. And basically, that's what we're here in the spirit of today. Because basically, we want to take back our community from a lot of these so-called not-for-profit organizations who have come in the spirit of, who have just basically come to our community as a occupying force in the name of getting state and federal dollars and disrespecting our youth in many cases and leaving our community in a worse decadent condition than they was before they ever got there. Many of these organizations who come and say they are there for the best interests of our youth, they're not. They don't have the best genuine compassion for our children. So why am I here today? Because if our youth cannot work in their community without there being some type of allegations or there being a low tolerance for them, I hear this all the time where our young people experience any old excuse to put them out of work. So if they cannot work in our community, and the reason I'm here because the fact that if our children are not able to work, then that increased the high chances of the sale of drugs, burglarizations, and people's homes. So I'm really here in the spirit of taking back our community so our young people can work, so we can also, doing that adds to taking back the community. Young people have to work, and it shouldn't be any old excuse to get them out of employment while these people are raking in multi-million, six-figure incomes into these so-called not-for-profit organizations that is everything but not-for-profit. So my thing is, the reason that young lady is standing here before you here and the reason that we are supporting her, I want to see our young people in our community work, because if they don't work, then they're going to be into things that you all don't want to see, and I don't want to see. I don't want these not-for-profit organizations coming in, disrespecting our community, disrespecting our youth, not allowing them to have a fair opportunity to work and be just as part of the community as anybody else. So I'm not casting a blanket on all of the Boys and Girls Club. I see the Boys and Girls Club down on the west side of Chicago got some good programs, have young people working. I want to see our young people working in the community in any I'm a 501c3 not-for-profit, real not-for-profit. I don't get no six-figure income, and I definitely don't get no state and federal grants. We have internet services, by the way. Let me mention this. We have internet services there, Poetry Internet Lounge for our young people. I want to put this over the air just in time for school. We have 8 computers that are set up that they can come in, do their homework, work on their artistic talent, and it's free. Okay, and I know I'm running out of time. I appreciate that. And that stuff is free. The programs we have is free for our community. And I wonder why a lot of these so-called not-for-profit programs who are taking in state and federal funding are charging our children so much to come in and take part of these programs. So anyway, in my closing, I'm going to be addressing that situation at Boys and Girls Club, and I'm serving notice on any of these so-called not-for-profit organizations that think they're going to set up shop, disrespect our community, and just take in funding and not do right by our kids. That ain't happening. It's time out for that. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thanks, everybody, for coming and commenting this evening. That concludes audience time. We'll take a motion by Alderman Beadling, seconded by Alderman Valco, to approve the minutes of August 6, 2012 regular meeting. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Thank you. Next up, we have resolutions, proclamations, and presentations. Item A, which is to approve the resolution, memorandum of understanding, and scope of work for the Chicago Metropolitan Agency for Planning, otherwise known as CMAP, for local technical assistance project for Washington Street. Motion by Alderman Rivera, second by Alderman May. Do we have any comments or questions? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Alderman Beadling.
Aye.
Alderman Newsom.
Aye.
Alderman Tenpas.
Aye.
Alderman May.
Aye.
Alderman Valco.
Aye.
Alderman Rivera.
Aye.
Alderman Cunningham.
Aye.
Alderman Moiseo.
Aye.
Ayes have it. Thank you. Next, we have committees, reports, and motions. First committee this evening is the Finance and Economic Development Joint Committee report. Alderman Newsom. Alderman Rivera will be presenting. I apologize.
That's fine. Mayor, the Economic Development Committee came to a session at approximately 5:55 p.m. this evening. And on the agenda, we have the approval of a redevelopment agreement, sales tax rebate, and tax increment financing developer note by and between the City of Waukegan and Paintball City 1 LLC. This is in Fountain Square. It's the old Child World building that's been vacant for the past, 20 years at least. So it's good to see that a vacant building is going to come to life. And come to life meaning you're talking about job creations, new jobs, about 8 full-time positions, also really good services in the area, corporate packages for team building events, online scheduling website, meeting rooms for team meetings. It's in an area where, obviously Waukegan Road is a corporate alley there with all the companies. So this is something that is going to be attractive not only to the surrounding communities, but to these corporations as well. So we're pretty excited about it, and it's going to bring some additional revenues into the city. I so move for the approval of the redevelopment agreement, sales tax rebate and tax increment financing, TIF developer note by and between the City of Waukegan and Paintball City 1 LLC. And I so move. And I want to commend Tina and her staff for really putting this agreement together along with the Paintball City representatives. They did an excellent job to get this moving forward. And I also want to thank my colleagues too and judiciary to making sure that these things go through. And I so move.
We have the motion by Alderman Rivera, seconded by Alderman Newsom. Do we have any comments or questions?
Yes.
Yes, Alderman Tenpas.
Could you explain exactly how much money the city's going to give again toward this endeavor?
Well, I'd like to have, why don't we have the attorney that represents our city. Go ahead.
Thank you, Alderman.
State your name, too, and your...
My name is Adam Simon with Ansel Glink. Normally, Paul Keller's here to speak to you about TIF issues. I'm here in his stead. The agreement calls for a TIF note for a principal amount of up to $750,000. I say up to because it'll depend on how much the eligible redevelopment cost will be for the project. So the principal amount is up to that maximum amount, plus there's a 5% interest rate on the note. The note gets paid back solely from the increment created from the parcel on which the project takes place, as well as a sliding scale of sales tax rebate. over the life of the project.
And we're going to also waive any construction permit fees?
Only internal review fees. If there's any third-party reviews that are required, they will reimburse the city for any third-party engineering or architectural reviews.
And this TIF would be for how many years?
This is part of the existing TIF there. This is an agreement to,
But how long is yours going to run?
I'm sorry?
How long is yours going to run?
As long as, well, it expires either when the TIF district expires or when the note gets paid off, whatever occurs first.
10 years. Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Alderman. Roll call?
Alderman Beadling.
Aye.
Alderman Newsom.
Aye.
Alderman Tenpas.
Aye.
Alderman May.
Aye.
Alderman Valco.
Aye.
Alderman Rivera.
Aye.
Alderman Cunningham.
Your Honor, can I ask Corporation Counsel one question
Sure.
before we go? I'm sorry. My vote is aye.
Alderman Moiseo.
Aye.
Ayes have it. Thank you. This is going to be fun. I think this is going to attract actually a lot of the young people out of Great Lakes Navy Base are going to enjoy this facility. So we're looking forward to having something there that increases the traffic. So we're glad to have that. I believe that concludes the joint committee report for the evening. Next, we will go to the Finance Committee report. Alderman Newsom, please.
Thank you, Your Honor. Finance Committee met this evening. We have item A, agenda, approve an ordinance dissolving the waterfront tax increment financing TIF District 1. And I so move.
We have the motion by Alderman Newsom, seconded by Alderman May. Do we have any comments or questions? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Alderman Beadling. Alderman Newsom.
Aye.
Alderman Tenpas.
Aye.
Alderman May.
Aye.
Alderman Valco.
Aye.
Alderman Rivera.
Aye.
Alderman Cunningham.
Aye.
Alderman Moiseo.
Aye.
Ayes have it. Thank you.
Item B, adopt a resolution deeming certain funds in the Waterfront Redevelopment Special Tax Allocation Fund as surplus funds and directing the payment and distribution thereof. And I so move.
Motion by Alderman Newsom, seconded by Alderman May. Do we have any comments or questions? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Alderman Beadling.
Aye.
Alderman Newsom.
Aye.
Alderman Tenpas.
Aye.
Alderman May.
Aye.
Alderman Valco.
Aye.
Alderman Rivera.
Aye.
Alderman Cunningham.
Aye.
Alderman Moiseo.
Aye.
Ayes have it.
Item C, approve an ordinance dissolving the downtown waterfront tax increment financing TIF District 4 and redirecting, no, District 4, and I so move.
Motion by Alderman Newsom, seconded by Alderman May. Do we have any comments or questions? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Alderman Beadling.
Aye.
Alderman Newsom.
Aye.
Alderman Tenpas.
Aye.
Alderman May.
Aye.
Alderman Valco.
Aye.
Alderman Rivera.
Aye.
Alderman Cunningham.
Aye.
Alderman Moiseo.
Aye.
Ayes have it. Thank you.
Item D, adopt a resolution deeming certain funds in the downtown waterfront special tax allocation fund as surplus funds and directing the payment and distribution thereof, and I so move.
Motion by Alderman Newsom, seconded by Alderman May. Do we have any comments or questions?
Yes, can,
Alderman Cunningham.
I'm sorry, but maybe I missed this. What is this?
We have two taxing districts that we're dissolving, TIF number 1 and TIF number 4 in the downtown. And before we can have a new TIF developed, we have to dissolve these two TIFs.
Oh, so just getting rid of the start of new? Okay.
We're spending it down.
Thank you.
Yeah. Roll call, please.
Alderman Beadling.
Aye.
Alderman Newsom.
Aye.
Alderman Tenpas.
Aye.
Alderman May.
Aye.
Alderman Valco.
Aye.
Alderman Rivera.
Aye.
Alderman Cunningham.
Aye.
Alderman Moiseo.
Aye.
Ayes have it. Thank you.
Item E, approve a resolution to formally adopt policy governing the city stabilization fund and to formally commit fund balances to the stabilization fund in accordance with GASB Statement Number 54, and I so move.
Motion by Alderman Newsom, seconded by Alderman May. Do we have any comments or questions?
So the money, I'm assuming the money, the stabilization money is going to go someplace else?
No.
No, that's not.
Tina, could you?
Tina, if you could.
GASB is the Governmental Accounting Standards Board, and they issue pronouncements and statements periodically that we adhere to in our financial reporting. And they issued statement number 54, which highly recommends that what we would have called rainy day funds or unrestricted fund balances be categorized as stabilization funds, and that municipalities adopt a formal policy earmarking a certain percentage of your annual expenditures be set aside into a stabilization fund. So if you have emergencies or, other issues, that you make sure that you have some funds set aside. So this would be in compliance with that statement. And then we're also hoping that this will meet some of the criteria that the bond rating agencies kind of flag as a way to get your bond rating either stabilized or upgraded, hopefully at some point.
Thank you. Yes, Alderman Tenpas.
Tina, how does that compare to the working cash fund?
This would essentially rename the working cash fund,
Okay.
and it would
Yeah.
collapse it all into the general fund.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
I'm sorry, it's going to go back into the general fund?
The GASB, now with these new pronouncements, they do not, it's not a lawmaking body. It's
Right.
how the auditors have to follow it.
Right.
They do not like having working cash funds as separate standalone funds. They prefer that it all be in your general corporate fund, but that you earmark a stabilization as stabilized funds, and you record that on your balance sheet.
So it's going to be earmarked within
Yes.
the general, okay, thank you, all right.
Okay, thank you. Roll
Thank you,
call,
Tina.
please.
Alderman Beadling.
Aye.
Alderman Newsom.
Aye.
Alderman Tenpas.
Aye.
Alderman May.
Aye.
Alderman Valco.
Aye.
Alderman Rivera.
Aye.
Alderman Cunningham.
Aye.
Alderman Moiseo.
Aye.
Ayes have it. Thank you.
Item F, approve ordinance amending Chapter 24 Water and Sewer regarding responsibility of water service and making
Scribner.
other scrivener changes. And I so move.
Motion by Alderman Newsom, seconded by Alderman May. Do we have any comments or questions? It's basically getting us out in between what could be civil situations, so we don't get in between a landlord and a tenant, that sort of thing. So, seeing none, roll call, please.
Alderman Beadling.
Aye.
Alderman Newsom.
Aye.
Alderman Tenpas.
Aye.
Alderman May.
Aye.
Alderman Valco.
Aye.
Alderman Rivera.
Aye.
Alderman Cunningham.
Aye.
Alderman Moiseo.
Ayes have it. Thank you.
Item G, authorizes use of bond proceeds to fund the award of a contract to Waukegan Roofing Company in the amount not to exceed $67,200 for the fire station renewal and replacement, specifically roof repairs to Fire Station Number 4, Budget Code 307-1307-26392, and I so move.
Motion by Alderman Newsom, seconded by Alderman May. Do we have any comments or questions? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Alderman Beadling.
Aye.
Alderman Newsom.
Aye.
Alderman Tenpas.
Aye.
Alderman May.
Aye.
Alderman Valco.
Aye.
Alderman Rivera.
Aye.
Alderman Cunningham.
Aye.
Alderman Moiseo.
Ayes have it. Thank you.
Item H, authorizes use of bond proceeds to fund the award of a contract to Caponella and Son in the amount not to exceed $346,794.50 for emergency repairs, sanitary sewer force main. Funds for this project are available using bond proceeds in line item 555-91602-7692, and I so move.
Motion by Alderman Newsom, seconded by Alderman May. Do we have any comments or questions? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Alderman Beadling.
Aye.
Alderman Newsom.
Aye.
Alderman Tenpas.
Aye.
Alderman May.
Aye.
Alderman Valco.
Aye.
Alderman Rivera.
Aye.
Alderman Cunningham.
Aye.
Alderman Moiseo.
Ayes have it. Thank you.
Item I, authorizes the proper city officials to issue a request for proposals, RFP, for water and sewer bill and vehicle sticker printing, and I so move.
We have the motion by Alderman Newsom, seconded by Alderman May. Do we have any comments or questions? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Thank you.
And that concludes the finance agenda.
Thank you for all your hard work. We appreciate it. I know you guys spend a lot of time on these things. Next up is Alderman Moiseo, Public Works Committee, please.
Thank you, Your Honor. Item A, grant permission to participate in the annual Lake County dot auction, and I so move.
We have the motion by Alderman Moiseo, seconded by Alderman May. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Thank you.
Item B, which is already approved in the finance, but waive the bid procedure and accept the emergency low seal quote of Campanella and Sons of Wadsworth, Illinois, for an amount not to exceed $346,794.50. Funds for this project are available using bond proceeds in line item 555-916027692, and I so move.
Motion by Alderman Moiseo, seconded by Alderman Beadling. Do we have any comments or questions?
Yeah, I just have one.
Yes, Alderman Rivera.
Who bid it and what were the bids, if you have it in front of you?
Tom?
It was done on an emergency basis also.
Correct.
It was Campanella, Joe Kennedy, and Berger Excavating.
In that order, that's how it,
Yes,
As
that
far
was,
as-
that was the order in which they finished.
okay. That's all. Yeah, I know this is an emergency, this is in my ward, so. Right. I got it right here.
Joe Kennedy.
Thank you. I
Okay.
just wanted to see the numbers.
Okay. Thank you, Tom. Thank you, Alderman. Roll call, please.
Alderman Beadling.
Aye.
Alderman Newsom.
Aye.
Alderman Tenpas.
Aye.
Alderman May.
Aye.
Alderman Valco.
Aye.
Alderman Rivera.
Aye.
Alderman Cunningham.
Aye.
Alderman Moiseo.
Aye.
Ayes have it. Thank you.
Item C, draft specifications and advertise for bids for the CDBG sidewalk program. Funds for this project are available through the CDBG funds, and I so move.
Motion by Alderman Moiseo, seconded by Alderman Cunningham. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Thank you.
Item D, draft specification, advertise for bids for backup generators at 4 sanitary lift stations. Funds for this project are available in line item 555-916027692, and I so move.
Motion by Alderman Moiseo, seconded by Alderman Valco. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Thank you.
And last, item E, draft specification, advertise for bids for a skip patch contract. We have approximately $150,000 through MFT, which is motor fuel tax funds, and I so move.
Motion by Alderman Moiseo, seconded by Alderman May. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Thank you.
That's it, Your Honor.
Thank you, Alderman, for, again, all the hard work at Public Work Committee. We have no old business, no report. Oh, I'm sorry, Alderman Beadling.
Regarding the pawn shop, that we have a moratorium. I voted no on that, a little uncomfortable with that. I don't think we put any necessary amount of time into that to really research, talk to the gentleman that owns the business, and I would appreciate if we could revisit the moratorium. It just doesn't seem right to put a cap on a business. You know, the strong survive, right? Whatever a number want to come in here for any kind of a business, I think it should be allowed, basically. Restrictions can probably be put on certain businesses if we so choose, but I would appreciate if we could invite the gentleman with the pawn shop business in and have a committee of the whole meeting for the public to listen in, and we could be educated on the issue and revisit it. I think we need to do it the right way. It just seemed like it came up at the last minute to me. I wasn't contacted about any of it, and I'd like to I'd like to have another go at it.
Well, what we could do is, tonight, what needs to be done, because it is in the time frame allowable, if you ask to motion to reconsider that item, we could take it up again. You need a second on the motion to reconsider, then a majority, of course, and that would be simply a vote to reconsider whether or not the pound shop would be something that we were going to permit. The other item that you're referring to is a broader issue. It could change, obviously, if you're looking to get rid of caps or whatever it might end up being. But it wouldn't address this particular issue right now. That would have to come up again and come through committee and kind of start again to a certain extent. So, I mean, it's, just one second. Tonight is the opportunity to reconsider that piece of business. But if you don't reconsider tonight, it does kind of go back to a starting from scratch position. And if that means you have to reconsider through committee, what you're speaking to, they would have to get the majority vote to do that, and then they would have to look back again at the application of the pawn shop then. So tonight would be simply motion to reconsider, whether we allow it or not. Then what you're looking to do is a more structural item that would then have to start at the committee level, go through discussion, be voted on, come to us to be voted on. Then they would have to come back in and make the reapplication.
And a point of order.
Yes, sir, Alderman.
I think you have to be on the prevailing side to bring the motion back.
You do. Yes. And I do believe that you were on the prevailing side in your vote, if I remember correctly.
I voted no.
You voted no, which was the prevailing side.
So he could make the motion.
He could make the motion.
Reconsider.
That's correct.
Your Honor?
I'm trying to help.
Yes, Alderman Moiseo?
I'm really sort of on the fence on this situation. I do sort of agree with Alderman Beadling about businesses, but then I hear a lot from constituents. My only concern is we do have one alderman missing tonight. I would like this matter to maybe be revisited, but I would like it for a full council, but Alderman Conkin is not here. I don't know how we do that.
Very easy.
Well, while we're talking, if I may speak.
Just one moment. Could I get Alderman Rivera, then Alderman Tenpas, please? We'll come right back to you.
Yeah, what we're talking about is the motion to revisit.
No, we'd vote on it again.
That doesn't mean that we're going to
no, if you reconsider,
vote on it. If the prevailing side considers to reconsider, I will give the respect to the rest of the aldermen to hold it over until, everyone is thoroughly, and it's on the agenda too as well.
If I might suggest that actually we can't hold this over as a reconsideration tonight, but it can go back if you, again, want it to start from the process for them from scratch, which they don't have to pay for all of their paperwork or anything like that, but they could come to committee again and start the process that way. You can't make a motion to reconsider and then hold that motion over, I don't believe.
I'd like to get advice from the Corporation Council on that.
You don't know. You can hold it over here.
Let her look at, she's reviewing some paperwork real quick.
You can hold it over anything. You can hold over. Your Honor,
yes.
If I may speak.
Sure. Alderman Tenpas, while we're waiting, please.
Thank you.
I'm sorry.
My history, as I recall, the next meeting, if you're on the prevailing side, you can make the motion to reconsider with a second, and you vote on it.
That would be what we could do tonight.
And it's over with.
Yes, sir.
And then if it doesn't go through, I guess a certain time span, they could go through the whole process.
They could come back, yeah. And I think that we really do need to be careful about this. It really does come down to a motion to reconsider. You can't use a parliamentary maneuver to hold something over that cannot prevail on a motion to reconsider. That you can't do. That would be something that would be problematic at best. So the simplest way would be to make the motion to reconsider, ask for a second, then see how the vote on that motion to reconsider goes. And I do believe then that's strictly on the motion to reconsider. Then we would have to vote again to approve the pawn shop.
It goes back to committee.
Are you sure about that?
No.
No, it's not. It's tonight. We have to work. You have to deal with it tonight.
No.
No, it doesn't go back to committee. This motion to reconsider would then be the moment where it could move forward, where it could either die here or move forward.
It's up or down.
Are you sure?
Next meeting.
You're right, you can't vote on it tonight because it's not.
Well, you could vote on it.
Yeah, you could vote on reconsider.
If you folks want to find some really compelling reading,
hold on,
look up the Illinois Tax Increment Financing District Law and read that. I couldn't make it but halfway through. what have we done to ourselves?
The motion to reconsider brings it back up, makes it active.
Has to be a vote on tonight.
Then it's put on the agenda.
Okay. All right, let me read this directly from Robert's Rules of Order so we know where we're working from, so everybody understands. Thanks, Bill. So what we have before us is a question of something that was voted on and dealt with at the last City Council meeting. So while making the motion to reconsider has high privilege, its consideration has only the rank of the motion to be reconsidered, though it has the right of way in preference to any new motion of equal rank, as illustrated further on. And the reconsideration of a vote disposing of a main question either temporarily or permanently may be called up when no question is pending, even though the general orders are being carried out. The motion to reconsider cannot be amended, postponed indefinitely, or committed. That's the one where I'm still not sure 100% about going back to committee. But if the reconsideration is laid on the table or postponed definitely, the question to be reconsidered and all adhering questions go with it. So if you get the motion to reconsider and that passes, and then you would then have to bring up a vote on the pawn shop itself, based on the motion to reconsider. I think you do.
No, based on the question.
That's what we're dealing with here, is the vote on the pawn shop.
Or in the past, you'd go back to the original, motion.
Yeah.
Right.
Like the original motion, period.
Yeah, you have the motion to reconsider. That gives us the permission to re-vote on the item. And then if it passes, it can be requested to go back to committee. That can happen.
Or you can actually vote on it.
Or we're gonna vote on it right now, and if it does pass, someone can make the motion to send it back to committee.
Or they could make a motion to approve.
The motion tonight will have to be in the affirmative
And if you
from the prevailing side. Yes, Alderman Rivera.
And if you send it back to committee.
Don't have to.
You don't have to, but you can.
Have to, but let me just ask this question.
If it prevails.
Send it back to the committee, you were saying earlier, they don't have to go through all the fee process.
I don't see why that would be necessary.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, I mean, I would, in my position, waive that because I think it would be unfair to put them through all of the expense and time of that. We could work off the existing paperwork. So what we have before us is a motion to reconsider the item regarding the pawn shop by Alderman Beadling. Do we have a second on the motion to reconsider? Second. We have the second by Alderman Rivera to reconsider. Now, this vote is only to allow us to go back and vote again on the pawn shop. So, roll call, please, on the motion to reconsider.
Alderman Beadling.
Aye.
Alderman Newsom.
Aye.
Alderman Tenpas.
Aye.
Alderman May.
No.
Alderman Valco.
Aye.
Alderman Rivera.
Aye.
Alderman Cunningham.
Aye.
Alderman Moiseo.
Aye.
Well, the ayes have it, so the motion to reconsider holds. Now, the question before us is to vote on whether we approve the pawn shop as it was presented 2 weeks ago.
Mayor,
Yes.
isn't it a motion to amend the ordinance from 4 to 5? Or?
Right.
Well, but you can't do that tonight,
I'm
actually.
saying we're not approving a pawn shop. If we approve an additional license, then
An additional license, that's correct. Well, in essence, it is permitting another pawn shop. So this is, the vote now is to approve the additional license or an additional pawn shop in the city of Waukegan that was voted down at the last meeting. So we're returning back to that same basic vote. Now we need a motion to approve plus a second. Do we have a motion to approve the additional license for the pawn shop that we voted down?
At this point, does it have to be from the prevailing side?
Yes.
No.
No, doesn't it?
No, it's back on the floor.
Oh, it's back on the floor. Okay, sorry.
I so
You
move.
got it. We have the motion by Alderman Rivera. Do we have a second?
Second.
Motion by Alderman Cunningham, the second by Alderman Cunningham. This will be a roll call vote. Roll call, please.
Alderman Beadling.
Aye.
Alderman Newsom.
No.
Alderman
No.
Alderman May.
No.
Alderman Valco.
Aye.
Alderman Rivera.
Aye.
Alderman Cunningham.
Aye.
Alderman Moiseo, I'm sorry. Moiseo?
Aye.
Passed.
Passed. We have the, it's approved. Okay. So that does undo the vote from the last city council meeting. So now the city has approved a 5th license for a pawn shop. And they'll come back to us and reapply using the previous paperwork, and we'll go from there. Okay, thank you. Any other items under old business? That's it? Okay, thanks. We have no reports and communications. New business and recommended actions by Corporation Council. Item A, approval of the payroll dated August 8, 2012 in the amount of $1,285,382.85. Motion by Alderman Newsom, seconded by Alderman Tenpas. Roll call, please.
Alderman Beadling.
Aye.
Alderman Newsom.
Aye.
Alderman Tempest.
Aye.
Alderman May.
Aye.
Alderman Valco.
Aye.
Alderman Rivera.
Aye.
Alderman Cunningham.
Aye.
Alderman Moiseo.
Aye.
Ayes have it. Thank you. Item B, approval of bills dated August 17, 2012 in the amount of $1,543,431.51. Motion by Alderman Newsom, seconded by Alderman Cunningham. Roll call,
Your Honor,
please.
I would like,
Yes.
I would like to hold over McGuire Consulting, item number 442813. And vendor number was 05724. And the reason for doing that, that's an $8,000 a month expense. We've been doing this since December. If you do this for the whole year, that's $96,000 for his little computer thing that he sends us out. I've been wanting to do this every month, and I haven't did what I said I would do. I kept looking for it in the bills, and I found it. And I think by me holding it over this time and asking this be referred back to the Finance Committee to see if this council really wants to continue paying $8,000 a month for consulting fees to help lobby for us. We have a state senator, a state representative that should be doing this for us and looking out for us. I just think with the economic conditions that the city has, this is an item that we can do without. And we may have some different agreements, but it's what I sincerely believe, and I respect the thoughts of other people in regards to that. So if I can hold that bill over and...
Well, what we'll need, Alderman, is you'll need to make the motion to amend item B, removing that amount from that item, and then a second on that.
If I may do that.
Yeah, $8,000.
I would like to amend the approval of bills to, on August the 20th, to remove item McGuire Woods Consulting for $8,000, which would make the total bill run be $1,535,431.51.
We have the motion by Alderman Tenpas as stated. Do we have a second?
Second.
A second by Alderman Newsom. Roll call, please, on the...
I'd like to discuss.
Yes, go ahead.
I agree with Alderman Tenpas. We've got a senator and a representative that get paid by the taxpayers to represent us and do this. My only question is this a contract that, is it a month to month, is it a year? Are we going to get in trouble if we don't pay? I'm just asking. I don't want, because you know, once the lawyers get involved, then we're paying more than the $8,000 a month because we're paying lawyers to argue about it. I just want to make sure that point. That's all.
Yeah. Yes.
That's all right.
Tina? I'm looking to see all the appointments that they've gotten for us. I have to cancel. I don't know.
The payment is made in arrears, so it's for services already rendered. The contract runs through November, but I believe there's a 30-day cancellation notice from either side. What you can do is you could vote on the amended for the bills, but then vote again on that one particular bill that was held aside, and then Alderman Tenpas can either abstain from that vote or vote no. You could vote on individual bills.
But they've already rendered the service, and
They
this is
have.
payment, so I don't see why we're going to want to get into that. You really, the next time would be to, in finance, to hold it in finance and drop it. But I will say that I'm just kind of looking at my calendar, Alderman, and some of the meetings that we have scheduled with State of Illinois officials and others, which were being arranged by our group, are going to be in jeopardy. We're meeting with IDOT, we're meeting with, as well as we're meeting with state officials regarding bringing international businesses to the city of Waukegan. These are things that they've helped us set up. I'm a little bit concerned that, then also we met with IDA last week about getting tax credits for projects here in the city of Waukegan, which they, helped set up for us. So it's something I am a little bit worried about, that it's going to impact some of our projects and some of the things that we're working on, and especially trying to get funding, especially through IDOT. It just puts us in a tougher situation.
Your Honor, may I speak?
Please.
I appreciate, you know where I'm feeling. I'm not trying to put anybody.
I understand.
I've been consistent here. I really believe that our state representatives need to take a more active role in looking out for the city of Waukegan, one of the largest communities in their area. I hear what you're saying. I think we really need to visit. I don't want to mess what you got scheduled up either. That's not my intention. I wasn't aware of those meetings. But if you would put this item in the Finance Committee to have some open discussion for the future of the next Finance Committee.
I'm sure the chairman would have no problem.
And let's take a look at this.
Sure.
And see if we really should continue.
Sure.
And see what they really have done for us. I really have.
Do you know how much money they got?
When I need more police and I need some other things, I just don't think this is the best way for my money. I respect your thoughts on it, I do, but I do care where the money is going. So
I do understand.
I'm consistent there.
Sure. No, absolutely. I do understand
So
it.
why don't I?
If you would like to withdraw your...
Why don't I withdraw my motion?
Okay.
And
the second, please, as well?
Okay.
Okay.
And if you would refer my thoughts to finance.
Yep, she's right here.
Well,
Yep.
you've got to do that.
Yep,
Okay.
absolutely. Okay, thank you. With that withdrawn, then we roll call, please, on item B.
Alderman Beadling.
Aye.
Alderman Newsom.
Aye.
Alderman Tenpas.
I paid for the bill because it's work already done, and agreed to, but my thoughts were given.
Alderman May.
Aye.
Alderman Valco.
Aye.
Alderman Rivera.
Aye.
Alderman Cunningham.
Aye.
Alderman Moiseo.
Aye.
Ayes have it. Thank you. Item C, approve all block parties, which I'm assuming we must have some. Motion by Alderman Moiseo, seconded by Alderman Beadling. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Thank you. Item D, approve the raffle sale application for Staben House. Motion by Alderman Cunningham, seconded by Alderman Valco. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Thank you. Item E, appoint Jesus Ruiz to the Waukegan Library Board. Do we have any comments or questions?
I read his resume. It's pretty impressive.
He was here earlier.
He's here.
He is here.
I'd like to comment.
Please. Alderman.
Jesus is a former student of mine, and he's a fine young man.
I wish I'd have known that before I got your application. Very good. No, we're happy to have him on board, and I think he'll do a good job if you saw his resume.
Yes, I
You
do.
know, that's the nice thing about this crop of appointments we're bringing you. These are people who really want to be part of what we're doing, so thank you very much for being part of it. We sure appreciate it. Seeing no comments, roll call on that one, please.
Motion is second.
I'll make the motion.
Oh, I'm sorry. Motion by Alderman Moiseo, seconded by Alderman Rivera. Roll call, please.
Alderman Beadling.
Aye.
Alderman Newsom.
Aye.
Alderman Tenpas.
Aye.
Alderman May.
Aye.
Alderman Valco.
Aye.
Alderman Rivera.
Aye.
Alderman Cunningham.
Aye, and is glad to see that our candidates are making it to council. Thank you, sir, for stopping in.
Alderman Moiseo.
Absolutely.
Ayes have it. Thank you very much, and thanks again for your willingness to serve. Item F, which is to grant permission to Misericordia for their Jelly Belly Candy Days on April 26th through the 27th, 2013. Motion by Alderman Tenpas, seconded by Alderman Beadling. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Thank you. Item G, grant permission from the Girl Scout cookies, I'm sorry, let me start again. Grant permission for the Girl Scout cookies sale for the month of January 2013. Motion by Alderman Valco, seconded by Alderman Moiseo. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Who hates Girl Scout cookies? You just, problem with them is you eat them all in one sitting. Item I, accept and place on file the treasurer's report for the month of July 2012. Motion by Alderman Newsom, seconded by Alderman May. All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Thank you. No ordinances and resolutions before us. Now we go into Alderman's time, and then following that, we will go into executive session.
Alderman Beadling.
I just want to say about the pawn shop, once again, maybe I wasn't eloquent enough the first time around. I'll take another bite of the apple. To me, it came up at the last minute. I didn't have the ability to speak to Mr. Kagan until after the fact, and I read on the internet, looked up the function of pawn shops, and the more I read into it and listened to Mr. Kagan's proposal, I decided that maybe I was leaning the other way, and I don't know about putting moratoriums on any businesses. We're supposed to be a free market economy, and the strong survive in a free market economy. If we had 15 pawn shops, if they could all survive, fine and dandy. But if one competes with another and knocks an old-time, a long-standing business out of business, that's just the way free market economies work. So that's all I wanted to say. Thank you.
Alderman Newsom.
Pass.
Alderman Tenpas.
Yes, I'd like to make a comment for the minutes. I am presently on the Fireman Pension Board, and I see Edie is going to be going off. And really, given that some thought, Your Honor, I really don't believe that an alderman should maybe sit on a fireman or police pension board. I think it's somewhat of a conflict, and so I would ask you, as you do your searches, keep searching for my replacement. I have enough duties as alderman, really, to keep me going, and I enjoy serving as fireman. I'll continue to serve until I'm replaced, but look for a good replacement, will you?
We will, and I think we're finding some good people that want to be part of it. I really do. I'm excited about the people that are willing to step up. So, but thank you very much for your years of service. We certainly do appreciate it, Alderman.
Alderman May.
Thank you. I just wanted to give kudos to the organizers of Saturday's rally at Victory Park. It was a really constructive conversation. I thank the chief and Lieutenant Florup and Sergeant Kelly for coming out. I think there was really some positive conversations took place, and I think that they will continue. I know that they were already talking to some churches today about the next rally. And also today, the neighborhood policing division started a neighborhood policing Facebook page. So if you're on Facebook, type in Waukegan Neighborhood Policing and like their page and keep up with what's going on with the neighborhood initiative. And as Mayor Sabonjian said, I encourage everyone, let's start some more neighborhood watches and stay connected to what's happening in our neighborhoods. And I just have a couple events I wanted to mention. This Friday, the grand opening of Your This and That shop at 114 North Genesee Street. The ribbon cutting will be at 2:00 p.m. Everyone's encouraged and welcome to attend. On August 31st, which is a week from Friday, there's a golf outing at Bonnybrook Golf Course to benefit the Eddie Washington Center and Staben House. The Waukegan Township folks are putting this on. I know Glenn Kozlowski sits on the committee, and there'll be former Bears in attendance, Jim Thornton, Otis Wilson, Dan Hampton, and others. So I encourage everyone come out on the 31st. It's a shotgun start, I'm not a golfer, at noon, and come out for a good time and hang out with some bears and play some golf. And then the final one on September 8th, Saturday, September 8th, at Steiner Pavilion at Waukegan Lakefront is Walkapalooza. It's like a Battle of the Bands type of format from 3 to 10, $5. You can see more than a half dozen bands, and I believe this may be like the grand finale of the summer Saturday concert series. So I encourage everyone to come on out. It's great to see these bands at Steiner Pavilion. And that's all I have. Thank you.
Alderman Valco. No comment. Alderman Rivera.
I want to thank everyone for supporting the Rafael Rivera III Asthma Research Foundation. The golf outing that we had over at Bonnybrook was spectacular. Bonnybrook and their service, I want to give kudos to their staff too. They're wonderful. It's a great place to have an event like that, and I really want to give the people that supported this for the past 11 years. You know, this was our 11th year, and I really appreciate their support. So it was a huge success. So I'd like to thank everyone on that. Also, I'd like to, thank my colleagues up here. I mean, anytime, when it comes to business, anytime you can put, business in an empty building, especially, it's look what happened with the tattoo parlors. We approved a tattoo parlor, and everybody, constituents weren't really too happy about it, because of the perception. But, and look how it's doing, and it's doing well. When it's a respectable business, people that are going in, and we're putting a business in an empty building, I think that's a good thing for the city. I'm happy that we're finally, we're going to put a business, we're going to fill an empty building out there in Fountain Square. I think that's going to, not only, the business there, but the aesthetics too. That's going to improve that area there too as well. And everyone's going to benefit from that. So again, thank you very much.
Alderman Cunningham.
Just two things. One, I would like to really extend a data boy and to Alderman May, Alderman Tenpas, and their entire Northside community, 6th, 7th, 8th Ward, and those who came after that. It was very refreshing to see the number of bodies that were out there, those who are concerned about not just the crime, but concerned about the city of Waukegan. I think more importantly, for me, it gave Chief Grayhouse, Lieutenant Forup, and Sergeant Kelly an opportunity to interact with the community and show the community that the police is not just about arresting; it's about serving and protecting. And I thought that was just a very great atmosphere and an awareness that people are now not just going through their day-to-day activities and not looking at things. So I want to give a data boy to Lisa and to Larry and Mayor. Thank you. And it was just a great environment to be around. I hear these words that we're under siege. I hear that the city of Waukegan is being preyed on, but I disagree with that. And the reason I disagree with that is because throughout our country, if you take a look at statistics, 3% of our populace are those who commit crimes. If you take a look at the other portion of it, the positive side is 97% of the people that live in our country, that live in our community, don't. I think we take that 97% and say, hey, we're bigger, better, and brighter than those who are trying to hurt us, but we just got to work collectively. And I think Saturday really proved that. Really proved that, and it was just so refreshing to see everyone out there willing and wanting to do it. So kudos to all of those involved in that Take Back Our Neighborhood. And I think that is a concept that can transcend throughout the city of Waukegan, and just take back our community, whether it be crime, whether it be bringing businesses, whether it bring uplifting our children. It is just a great, it was great to be around that type of environment. So I want to say thank you for inviting me, and thank you for giving me that. And I think it serves as an inspiration, not only for me, but to others to go out and do the same thing. And it was great coverage for that, Lisa. I don't know if I'm on your Facebook or not. I think I am, but it looks like Facebook is the biggest thing going out there. Second and last but not least, the two ladies that came here tonight, Mrs. Williams and Mrs. Walker, they have really been very patient with Javier, been extremely patient with him. And we have been very patient with him as well from a city standpoint, because he is a business, and trying to give him the opportunities to, to grow and develop his business and be a good neighbor. It's just been a very uncomfortable position for them, and it took a whole lot for those two ladies to come up here and to speak before this, before us. They have been speaking to myself, to Dave, to Chief Grayhouse, and everybody in the past about this small little situation over there. These small service centers, as great as they are for our communities, they need to understand they will grow. And when you grow, these are the things that happen. It is what it is right now, but I don't think Javier is truly respecting the folks who live in the area long before he got there. And I think that is the biggest thing that they are upset about. There's no respect for them. There is none. And it's just pissing them off. And now they're at their wits' end. Now we have to stand up and do what the city is supposed to do. Protect the homeowners. Taking back the neighborhood, this is part of that, taking back the neighborhood. Protect the homeowners. We're going to work with you as best as we can, but you can't override what you want to do and to bring in outsiders to destroy the fabric of the city of Waukegan. It just can't happen. And if we don't do it, that concept of then they do it, then the criminals do it, and everybody else think they can do it. That is what we're all about. So, Mayor, whatever you're going to do with that particular situation, it must be forceful, it must be permanent, and it must be understood that it cannot be accepted nor tolerated that you're going to have people live different because of you. It just can't happen. Thank you very much.
Alderman Moiseo.
Yeah, just a couple of things. One thing, we went through a little bit of a drought this summer, and if you read some of the papers, some of the western counties out there had water rations. We sure didn't. We got all the water you need. We got all the water you need. We're still working on that, but that's a notice to those western Lake County communities that need water and have wells that are drying up. We got all you need. We're open for business. Yep. You keep waiting. We're trying to be a partnership with you. We want to help you out. We got all the water you need, and we can make it happen probably relatively quick. So that's a notice to the western Lake County communities that we got all the water you need. The second thing, like I said, I was a little bit on the fence with the pawn shop thing. Sometimes it's hard. Where do you draw the line of what's a good business and what's not? A tattoo shop, a liquor store, things of all that sort. It's very hard up here sometimes to decide where you draw the line on what's an appropriate business and what's not. But I think pawn shops, I think other businesses have sort of changed the way they do things. And really what sold me on this was Alderman Velko's word on it that this person had run a good business before. And Alderman Velko's a police officer 30-plus years. I think he knows what is a good pawn shop and what is not a good pawn shop. So that was really what sort of sold me on the fact that maybe this can work. I might catch a little bit for some constituents, but that's part of holding this seat. So with that, we have to go to executive session, Mayor?
Motion, yeah.
Motion to go to executive session by Alderman Moiseo, seconded by Alderman Newsom. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Thank you.
Yeah, no.
Oh, I understand that. Find a reason to get hurt.
I understand that. Okay, motion to come back into regular session by Alderman Newsom, seconded by Alderman Beadling. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Ayes have it. Motion adjourned by Alderman Moiseo. Is he here? Seconded by Alderman Cunningham. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Ayes have it. Thanks, everybody.
You've got